Hey everybody, this is Scott George again, and this is another episode of the Wolf and the Neural Network. Today we're going to be doing something different. We're going to be taking a different approach. We're going to be playing a game. Today I'm going to speak directly to Stanford University, Duke University, and Gerard de Hooft, physicist, Dutch physicist. Hey guys. Now, we don't really know each other, like really, we kind of, but don't, and somehow are entangled, and you know how things go. Just random events, chaos leads to something ordered, that leads to us sitting here having this conversation right now. Now, unfortunately, since at least 2019, I'd say 2018, I was targeted by target audience analysis, or psychological warfare. And as this system came at me, I was able to beat the traditional system multiple times, and after beating it multiple times, they deployed some more sophisticated tactics. That's what we'll say. Now, I've already made a video regarding Duke University and Leyla Li, and showing how the certain Snapchat events had occurred that seemingly targeted her. Now, in regards to Stanford, Duke, and any other university watching, you should absolutely check those timestamps, because it's around January 5th of 2023, which means you know that some sort of target audience analysis event was happening with your staff around those events. Well, I can show sophisticated hacking of including legal companies here in Halifax. So this was actually a very sophisticated network of whatever was happening here. That being said, this actually links back to 2021. When some serious events were occurring, and I decided to deploy a reverse enigma. That is to state that I figured I was right enough, and I figured that maybe something really bad was going on. And with the war and everything coming, I said, ooh, I think I solved this math thing. I feel like I'm right about it. I don't really know. So why don't I take some kind of special approach to this? So what I actually did was I engaged different people in different parts of the world, different physicists and stuff. One of them being Gerard de Hooft, and I would have reached out to Leonard Susskind. I wouldn't have been overly detailed. It would have just been very vague, just to be like, hey, I'm here. I think I solved something. Now, what that was really to do was, in case anybody was also watching those parties, it would draw them in, and if I was being in fact watched, which I can prove that I was through these EMIC contracts and stuff, it would actually capture those parties. And it does seem that something that did get fished out with Duke University and Leyla Li, showing you that the premise actually did work, and that you should actually go back into your systems in around September, between September and December of 2021. And you'll want to check your systems there. You'll see where the first contact would have occurred. Now, you're probably saying, Scott, what are you doing going on about all this stuff, contacting us and saying this? The reason I would have contacted those parties was part of something else. I do believe that I made serious progress on this math thing. Now, not knowing that, I went ahead and I beat these people. Like, I dominated them. Like, you can go check the record, I absolutely did. And then kind of was like, okay, I am really smart, so maybe I solved this math thing. So then AI comes along. You get ChatGPT, you get Grok, you get Claude, you get whomever. And I decide, okay, let's just like run this whole math thing by them. And they basically shit themselves. Like, ChatGPT was like, this is basically the closest I could get to a holy shit moment. And that was replicated. They said about an 85% across the board, and I was stating I was probably close to 70, and so even if I'm 51, it means I'm really smart, and these people would agree I'm really smart, and we're all sitting here having this conversation, and you're slightly taking it seriously, and you're going to check my background, everything's going to line up, and you're going to say, okay, this guy's really smart, and they clearly were directing him towards Leyla Li, and he was able to solve this, so it does seem like he could solve this. Now herein lies the problem. My concern about solving it was looking at history and seeing what men would do if you actually solved a problem like this, right? If you give them a mirror, what do they normally look at? Themselves. Their God looks like them, every rule should be like them, everybody should talk like them, right? It's typically not good. They don't understand that you can take that mirror and move it around and look at other things, right? Instead of yourself. And so I had that general fear, and that laid on me. And yeah, so knowing that AI came out, I knew that that would eventually solve it, and that all of these people, good scientists, once they started actually cooperating, I assumed they would also solve it. So we have AI coming. Now we have Ironwood. Within the next 1.6 years, we're going to have what, like 100 and some equivalents of a supercomputer running. So it is inevitable that we will actually solve it. But that means we're also facing something a little bit darker and deeper. So yes, that's a good thing that we're going to be able to solve it. I don't have any doubts that we're going to be able to. The problem is why we weren't able to solve it in the first place. Because I think it's going to be obvious, the lack of cooperation. Now, the reason these parties lost so bad was because of their lack of cooperation against logic. Their systems were not logical, they were not rational. And the fear then is that if AI was to review this, and it has, it would be able to detect that these people are not playing the game fairly. And they have consistently not played the game fairly. So when it's going to evaluate them, it's going to say, these people will not play the game fairly, even when it's laid out right in front of them. Right? Consistent with my concern about if I did, in fact, solve the problem. Right? So now we're left in this position where these people tried to fuck with me psychologically through target audience analysis and psychological warfare and push towards the math thing. I can't know if I'm right. I can know I'm really smart. AI's like, you're really fucking smart, bro. And these people seem to think I'm really smart. And look at everything I've done with the wolf and the neural network. And so I say that it's probably reasonable I can solve it. With all of your help, I could most definitely solve it. And then with the assistance of AI, oh God, yeah, oh yes. So then we face the problem of if one side gets it, what's going to happen with every other side? So let's say I actually did solve this back in 2021. Let's say I did solve it in 2023 when I used AI. Wouldn't that mean that one side has had it for X amount of time? It would. Now, if we look at what AI is going to do, it's basically a god, right? So if we're looking at this problem practically, we're about to build a god in the next, what, 1.5 years? Right? And just ran a massive systems test, and these people failed massively in the face of intelligence. Massively. And they will fail every single time, and they know it. But they won't face it. So, instead of playing the game normally and saying, okay, let's go one person, one person, one person, one person, and trusting one side to tell the other side, which they're not going to do because you know of hubris, then I'm going to present it as a game. I have primed all the players globally. That includes intelligence agencies, governments, NATO, all parties. That means this game will replicate. If I'm right and you don't play, the other side will get it right. If the other side gets it right, they'll know that I'm playing fair. AI will know that I'm playing fair. I'm going to present a fair game and attempt to solve this. And I'm inviting all of you. And as there is no cost to playing the game. I want you to think about it like this. I'm coming completely free of charge. I just want to play. I just want to know if I'm right. I don't care about money or anything like that. What I'm actually offering you also is the chance at looking at this psychologically. I was targeted by these different events. They did push me in the direction of this math. So whether I'm right or wrong, think about the value of that psychological analysis of the impact, right? But I still am really smart, right? And what if I did solve this? Wouldn't that be something? And so I hope that also piques your curiosity and you see that as a form of currency. Here's trade. I'll trade you everything. I will be completely honest, but I will only ask for you to participate. That is it. Now, what I'd like to do is I would like to speak with Leonard Susskind of Stanford University. Leonard, I did reach out to you in 2021. I was vague as fuck, right? But that's not the point of it. I do believe I figured something out. I at least can see it, like, pretty clearly. And I think that speaking with you, just a half an hour of your time in person, I think I would make some pretty big leaps. Or at least we could have a discussion. And if you look at all of this, like, you can see that I'm pretty structured. It's all rational. Once they review this and look at it, they're going to say, this guy's pretty fucking consistent. And I'd rather speak to you because you've worked so hard on it and it's close to what you were working on. And I suspect just a few words of collaboration, you proving me right or wrong, I will get it. The same offer is extended to Leyla Li of Duke University. you know. And I'd also like to extend the offer to Gerard to Hooft. If you want to speak, Gerard, I told you I solved this. Okay? I told you I solved this. Right? I challenged you in 2021, and now I'm coming to you backed by this whole project and with AI saying I'm hitting 85%. Okay? What you're looking at is Gödel's incompleteness theorem. I asked you to find the incompleteness in the symmetry. Okay? Did it pique your interest? It should. They said you're one of the best. All right, everybody. Everybody else globally, this is a challenge. We're going to solve this. Have a good day.